check out this free video and make sure you hit like and subscribe. And no one watched that SmackDown. It did a terrible number. It did like the worst SmackDown number since, I think, like 2023. And it was a show that was like preempted to be on FS1 or something like that. It did a horrible number. And then I guess people are saying Raw did a terrible number, but I mean, we don't really know because everything is so weird. But Dave believes Raw did a terrible number. And then the Dynamite show, actually Collision died a death. Collision did under 200,000 viewers, so it completely died. And then Wednesday's Dynamite also died. It did 472,000 viewers and a .11. So very low total audience and a very low 18 to 49. And I think the notable thing is, when you hear all of these things, the conclusion is, well, it was just a bad week for everybody. But then along comes NXT, which actually did 655,000 viewers and a .14. So actually, and the .14 is not great, but NXT actually went up. It was the only show that not only didn't die, but it actually went up from the week prior. So, you know, for a lot of different reasons, there's a lot of college games. I mean, that's what really killed Collision last week, and probably SmackDown to a degree as well. But I think that, and I think they've perhaps recognize this, even though I talk about it like every single week and it's a broken record and people are sick of it. AW needs to promote their shows in advance. On Wednesday afternoon, literally at 4:00 p.m. Eastern, we had 2 matches for Dynamite. That's it. And the funny thing is, about a month ago, they did 2 straight weeks where they advertised a bunch of stuff for Dynamite. Like, we had 4 or 5 things on Wednesday when I was doing Observer Live, and both of those shows, they did all right. And then the last 2 weeks, it's been back to, we're going to advertise a thing or two, and in both cases, the shows have died. And Collision had nothing advertised last week. Nothing. On Friday, when I was doing Observer, I'm sure they may have done something on social media the day of the show, but they had nothing advertised the day before Collision, and that show died. They had 2 things advertised for Dynamite, and that show died. And to their credit, we actually have 5 things already announced for Collision this Saturday. And so, hopefully, this will help. Saturday's Collision has Moxley and Daniel Garcia, Mark Briscoe and Takeshita, the All-Star 8-woman match with Toni Storm, Mina Shirakawa, and Statlander and Harley Cameron versus Megan Bayne, Tekla, Julia Hart, and Sky Blue. FTR versus Tommy Billington and Adam Priest, so that's Adam Priest's partner, Tommy Billington. And the TNT champion Kyle Fletcher and Don Callis are going to do a promo. So they do have 5 things announced for Saturday, which should help. But the other issue is Dynamite went off the air with zilch announced for next week. And I don't think that you can rely on Collision. You know, when 200,000 people are watching Collision, that's not enough to promote Dynamite matches on that show. I think they need to go back to where they were in 2019, where Dynamite ended with, you know, Excalibur rattling off, and he shouldn't rattle them off this quickly, but he should rattle off 4 or 5 matches for next week's show, let everybody know what's coming, get excited about it. And it's funny because, you know, Tony's favorite promotion is apparently, you know, like 1983, 1984 Mid-South. And every Tuesday on the Bryan and Vinny show, we sit there and we watch Mid-South Wrestling from 1984. And like every week on the show, Mid-South Wrestling ends with them telling us what's going to be on next week's show, getting us hyped up for the next episode. And I'm baffled as to why he doesn't do that. And I know someone here said, well, he says injuries, whatever. Listen, we had a match on Wednesday for the tag team titles with FTR versus Brodito. Nobody in that match is hurt. There was absolutely no reason they couldn't have announced that last week. There's no reason they couldn't have announced it on Monday or Tuesday or even Wednesday. They didn't announce it. And there's no injury-related reason for it. He just didn't do it. And I think he needs to, whatever it takes to be able to put a card together, you got to do it. So that's my speech. I'm sorry you've heard it 50 times, but I can't help myself. It was a record low. It was, well, actually, yesterday we heard it was a record low rating, but apparently it wasn't a record low for Dynamite. But it was very low. Thank you for watching. Make sure you subscribe to the channel and click that notify button, and you'll never miss a video again.